So, as I mentioned in a video, I'm going to go see Neil Young again. And it seems like whenever that happens, when I have a Neil show coming up, I tend to get more invigorated in my love of Neil. So, I know I've kind of did this before, but I did it in about 6 different videos. So, I'm really proud of my Neil Young vinyl collection. It's almost complete. I'm missing a few minor things, mostly 7 inches. But I want to do an abridged version of my Neil Young collection. I'm going to run through them all real quick, and I'm really not going to say much about anyone just for time. Like I said, I did it last time in 6 videos, so this is going to try and be one video. So I'm going to start real quick. Buffalo Springfield, their debut in stereo, an original, I think. If not original, early press. Buffalo Springfield again. Excellent album. Last Time Around. And Retrospective. And their 2 LP, Buffalo Springfield. It's a compilation, much like Retrospective, but has more stuff. And has the extended version of Bluebird. And I think this is a promotional copy. Yeah, promotional. And then we have Neil's debut album, Neil Young. Had some kind of Snoopy sticker on there, but anyway, great album. Of course, we have Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. I have 2 copies of this. One's an original 2-tone label. Very good. I also have 2 copies of After the Gold Rush. I actually have 3 copies. This one's a little beat, but it's not here. Harvest. And I have a Spanish copy. I'm not sure of the country. Some Spanish-speaking country. And this is also an original. And then we have Journey Through the Past. Soundtrack to a film. Neil's film. Very interesting. One that's still not available on compact disc. Time Fades Away. I have 2 copies of this. Both originals. Here's the back. And one of my personal favorites, Tonight's the Night. Again, I've pointed out before. I have, this is a reissue with this very smooth, shiny cover. And I have 2 originals. Both with the, one has the insert, one just has the original record sleeve. They both have Hello Waterface, Goodbye Waterface on the LP. So, and then I have On the Beach, beautiful copy of that. An original as well. Another personal favorite. Everything from the Ditch Trilogy I love. We have Zuma. Excellent album as well. American Stars and Bars. And we have, I'm going to show my Crosby, Stills and Nash stuff separately, but this is Stills and Young Band. Long May You Run. And then we have Decade. Really good copy of this too. There's a lot of copies out there that are just kind of beat, I've found. Comes the Time. Another personal favorite. And I have 2 copies of what's probably my favorite Neil Young album, and the album that got me into him, Rust Never Sleeps. Fantastic album. And then I have a copy of Live Rust. And now we move into the 80s with Hawks and Doves. And then Neil Young with Crazy Horse on Reactor. And then I have his early greatest hits. I don't know if this was released in the U.S., but I know there was a lawsuit about the mixes that were on here that Neil wasn't happy about. I think by this time Neil was on Geffen and Reprise put this out, and he wasn't happy about that. And then another personal favorite of mine, which I love, and it's probably one of his most misunderstood albums, but I absolutely love this album, Trans. I have 2 copies of that as well. One is the original with the If You Got Love printed on the LP, and it has the sticker. And one is just a regular copy without that. And then I have Where the Buffalo Roam soundtrack that Neil was involved in. Basically, he plays what is it? It's the Buffalo Stomp, Home on the Range. God, I just completely brain fart there. And then probably my least favorite Neil album, Everybody's Rockin'. Not horrible, but my least favorite. Okay, and then from there I have Old Ways. Landing on Water. This is also a promotional copy. Life, Neil Young, Crazy Horse. This Note's for You, Neil Young and the Blue Notes. And from here, this is probably one of my most prized LPs, El Dorado. Very, very slim cover, but there you go. Very rare too. He only released 5,000 copies of this in Australia. And we have Freedom, which a lot of the songs on El Dorado are on Freedom. Great LP. Many consider it his comeback, but I don't think he really went anywhere. And then we have another favorite, Ragged Glory. Fantastic LP. And then we have Weld, the live tour after Ragged Glory. Great live LP. Really showcases, I guess what you would call modern Crazy Horse's sound, and just how insane and intense it could be at one of their shows. And then we have Harvest Moon. And then we have Unplugged. I just listened to this the other day, and it just sounds phenomenal, especially on my new turntable, but great LP. Really great performance, too. Another rare one, Lucky 13, Excursions into Alien Territory. This is a Greek press. Hard to come by, but very good to have. And then I have what you hear in the background. Sleeps with Angels. Excellent album. And then we have Neil Young with Pearl Jam with Mirror Ball. In my opinion, Neil should be heard on vinyl. Just my opinion. That's not to say I don't have all the CDs and MP3s on my iPod, but another very rare one and very expensive, Dead Man. His soundtrack to the Jim Jarmusch film, which is fantastic in my opinion. And kind of a precursor to Lanois too, I believe. Broken Arrow, which was around the time that I started getting into Neil. This is what he put out, and the first 2 shows I seen were from the tour that backed this. And speaking of that, those shows, two of the songs, the second concert that I went to, two of the tracks are on Year of the Horse. It's the soundtrack to the Jim Jarmusch film with the same name. Excellent live LP. I don't think this gets enough credit. It's fantastic, Crazy Horse. And then we have Silver and Gold. Another good one. I like this a lot. The tune, Silver and Gold was actually my wedding song for our first dance. And then I have Road Rock, Neil Young, Friends and Relatives, Road Rock Volume 1. And then we have Prairie Wind. Are You Passionate? And then after Are You Passionate, we had Greendale. This is the 4 LP box set, which can be pretty expensive now online to buy. But also has a 7-inch green vinyl of Sun Green. And then after Greendale, we had Prairie Wind, with Neil had his aneurysm and almost died. Great LP though, I like this a lot. And then we have Living with War, very angry protest album, and also Living with War in the beginning. And then we have Chrome Dreams. I really like this LP as well. Great album. And then we have Fork in the Road. Not my favorite, but it still has merit. I like it. I like a number of tunes quite a bit, but overall, Then we have his most recent, which I absolutely adore, Lanois. Brilliant, brilliant album, and brilliant performances and production by Daniel Lanois in there too. But great LP. So then after that, I have the Neil Young Archives LPs. His first one, Neil Young. Everybody knows this is Nowhere. After the Gold Rush. Beautifully pressed. These LPs sound phenomenal. And beautifully packaged as well. Harvest. Just like the original, with the textured cover. And then we have Neil Young, Live at the Canterbury House, Sugar Mountain. All these are so good live albums. Neil Young, Crazy Horse, Live at the Fillmore. Neil Young, Live at Massey Hall. And then we have Dreamin' Man, which I kind of like better than Harvest Moon. As much as I like Harvest Moon, I like these live performances better. Alright, so that's for the Neil Young stuff. After that, we have... One moment, please. Whoops. Whoa. I should have pulled these out before. I also have a bootleg Crosby, Stills and Nash Neil solo performance. Not in very good condition. It's just a green sleeve. Okay, so for CSNY, I have the CSN albums as well, but for this I'll just show the CSNY ones. Deja Vu. I have 2 copies of this. Four-Way Street. I also have 2 copies of this. This one's in much better condition. The other one's kind of almost unplayable. And we have So Far. Love that album artwork, Joni Mitchell. Then we have not a great album, but an album nonetheless, American Dream. And we have CSNY, Looking Forward. Another tough one to come by. And then we have Deja Vu, soundtrack to the film from the tour, the CSNY. Deja Vu. I think that's the name of the tour. But there you go. And now I have just a couple 7 inches that are notable. Should be mentioned, I guess. There are a few more I need to get to be complete, I guess. Those would be Philadelphia. War Song, I believe, is another one. But real quick, I have here. I have the Cinnamon Girl with the alternate mix with Neil's vocals on top of Danny's. Wait. If I can find that, where is it? Ah, here we go. I don't have the picture sleeve, but it's in an epic Cinnamon Girl. And then I have Heart of Gold, Sugar Mountain. Then I have a really interesting one. Last Trip to Tulsa, the electric version. But really it's Time Fades Away. And this one is a mistake done on Reprise's part. This side is blank. And then this side is Last Trip to Tulsa. And then I have Mansion on the Hill. Backed with Don't Spook the Horse. Beautiful copies of these. I bought these on eBay. There's a seller on eBay selling a lot of interesting Neil Young albums, and I happened to